Alright guys, before this video starts, I want to go ahead and cut in real fast to say that every video moving forward when it comes to reacting to, press conferences, all that kind of stuff, I will be enhancing the audio of every single reporter that talks. I know a lot of you guys have told me that you guys can't hear the reporters and they're too low. So I'm going to be enhancing them up as much as I can, and also I will be putting the questions that they are asking on the screen in writing. So if you're ever listening to a video or you're reacting to it like this video and you see on the screen, you're like, what did that reporter say? I can't hear him. It will be enhanced, but it will also be on the screen if you'd like to read what the reporter is saying, so you can get a better understanding of what the player is going ahead and answering to. So this will be for every video moving forward that I react to when it comes to press conferences, because they don't always do the best at audio. So enjoy the rest of the video. Alright guys, today I'm going to react to Logan Wilson's press conference now that he is paid 4 years. 4 years. Oh my gosh. So I'm excited. I'm freaking excited because we got him and Jermaine Pratt for the same amount of money that Roquan Smith signed with the Ravens for. Per year. And total, we got both of these guys for $58 million. Roquan got $100 million, guys. That's how amazing this coaching staff is. Duke Tobin, Katie Blackburn, everyone on getting these guys for a correct price tag. Well, let's go ahead and listen up.
Get a chance to talk a little bit about Logan, and just really impressive from start all the way to this point. And the first time I know he came on our radar, our scouts were raving about him before the Senior Bowl. We went to the Senior Bowl. A lot of our coaches got a chance to interact with him on the other team, and that's when he really popped onto my radar. Got a chance to talk to Coach Bull over the years, and he's always raved about Logan as a player and a person. He's one of those draft experiences that I have where we really crossed our fingers for every single pick that came off the board. A ton of conviction on through the pre-draft process. Everything you hear about his family and his upbringing and his experience at Wyoming and the impact he's had on people at his high school is tremendous. And so we're fortunate to have him, fortunate to get a deal done with him that's well-deserved by Logan. And so we're set for years to come with such a great piece of the puzzle and Logan Wilson. And so excited to introduce him at this press conference, and I'll turn it over to him and walk away.
Another great piece of the 2020 NFL draft. Also, shout out to Dylan Burke, who's actually in this live stream right now, and I know he actually goes to my live streams too, so who day, man. Appreciate you there. I love seeing different people over here. In live streams, like Bengals live streams, I'm like, oh, I remember that guy, but let's listen to the GOAT speak.
What was your reaction like when the deal was finalized?
It's almost like just like a sigh of relief that things are done, and you can just continue to go out and play football. And what I've done throughout the last, now 4 years coming into this year, I think it's going to be another fun year for us.
Obviously, there's other contracts in the draft class that were highly discussed, and talked about throughout the process. What was that like, knowing that you're kind of one of the pieces that they're looking at long term and kind of trying to manage, kind of keeping tabs on everything that was going on around you as you kind of were going through negotiations?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the negotiations and whatnot were done by my agent, and then he just kind of relayed some of that information to me, and then that's just kind of how things were done. Obviously, I know of the guys that we want to get done too, and so I still think that this contract allows them to get those things done with those guys, and hopefully we're able to keep them long term as well.
That is the most crucial thing you can say too, because again, you got to keep in mind, every player wants to be the highest paid player, period, right? That's just life, right? You want to make the most money. It takes a different type of person to say, I want to keep my guys around me, and I want to keep this team a championship team. And it's not just about me. I'm not going to be selfish here. I want everyone to eat. That takes a different type of individual. And I've said many times, he could have gotten a lot more money if he hit free agency than what he got here. But he wants to be here. He loves it here. And that shows his character beyond anything.
What does it mean to be a building block in this franchise that this team obviously values you as going forward?
It means a lot to me to be a small part of this organization from kind of where we were, in COVID year, winning like 4 football games to where we're at now. And to be a small part of that is very rewarding for me. It's humbling. It's kind of the reason you do things to kind of turn a program around like we have. And it's very fun to play for Coach Taylor and the stuff that he's instilled in us as players and the way that he's led this organization. I think we've ignited the city of Cincinnati, and we just got to keep that fire moving forward.
Where were you when you found out about the deal, and who'd you call first after that initial conversation?
I was here at work. So I didn't really call anyone right away. I told my parents about it. I just via text message, but I couldn't really call.
It's kind of funny that most players, and if you listen to most players, when they find out either they got a contract extension, they got traded, they got cut, a lot of times, because Ian Rappaport and obviously Scheffer is so fast at getting this news out, that we find out stuff before the player find out stuff. He's not kidding. There's times where people go on Twitter, or a player will get a text message to be like, hey bro, I saw you just got like this amount of money. And it's like, what? And it's because once the contract gets done between the agent and the team, before the agent can even text or call the player, it's already out to the media. There's already Ian Rappaport getting the inside source that the Bengals have signed, blah, 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 blah. That's why a lot of times you'll see, like, a contract gets, like, announced, right? But the details aren't out. And you're like, why is the details not out? Or, they say agreed upon. Because the player might not even know yet. The player still has to go through the process. It's hilarious.
Call them and let them know. But they knew it was getting close, so I was keeping them updated. No, you're good.
What about being with Pat?
Yeah.
Pat and I are going to be together for at least a couple more years.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I mean, that's got to be nice.
Very nice. I think it's very rare to be able to play with someone next to you for as long as we're going to be able to play next to each other. And I think we've both helped each other grow as players, and we're only going to continue to do that. And Coach Betch has helped us as players as well, and so I think that the sky's the limit. We still have a ton of things that we can get better at, and we just put our heads forward and go to work every day and try to get better.
What do you think it is about you? What do you think it is about you and Brad that clicks? You're from the different parts of the country, but grew up differently. I mean, what do you think?
I think that's just what makes football so unique in general. Is you got guys coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. It doesn't matter where they came from, but you're all coming together with one goal in mind, and that's to win a Super Bowl. And so when guys have that same goal in mind, you can help each other get better and push each other, not just Jermaine and I, but every other linebacker in our linebackers room, push them to be great because, I learned a long time ago, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so, those guys that might not be playing on Sundays, but they're playing on practice squad, getting reps, giving us a look on scout team, like, when they give a good look, it helps us get better and prepared for Sundays. And so we just push everyone to be as good as they can be.
That's another reason why, I've said many times, we're going to re-sign T and get T's extension. And it's not because Joe cannot function without T. Higgins. But as he said, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So you look at the receiving core, you want that weakest link to be a star receiver because that helps you out as a quarterback every single play. Again, like I said, a lot of times they say like a quarterback makes a receiver makes a quarterback. But at the end of the day, a great receiver makes quarterback look good, no matter who you are. No matter if you're at Joe Burrow status or you're below Joe Burrow status. You are still looking good if you have a great quarterback around, great wide receivers.
Pratt resigned. In the back of your head, did you think, oh, well, maybe there's not enough for me as well in the linebacker room going in here?
Not really, originally. My agent kind of let me know right away, like, no, this shouldn't be a problem. And I knew I wanted to be here, and so I'm just glad we were able to get something done.
You mentioned wanting to be here. I mean, you always with us were pretty resolute that this is where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
Never really, A, why was that? And B, was there ever a moment where you wondered, am I going to have to think about what free agency could be like last year? Was there any moments along where you wondered if that was going to happen?
I think you always wonder it because you just never know in this league. There's that business aspect that you just never know when stuff can happen like that. And For me, one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to leave was being a part of the turnaround that we've had here and not wanting to leave what we've kind of started, kind of keep that train moving forward. And playing for one of the biggest reasons is I wanted to keep playing for Coach Taylor. I think he's such a player's coach. He takes care of us like probably team does, and guys recover better because of that. He takes care of us if you're injured. I mean, all these different things that go into it. I mean, he's awesome. He's been tremendous to play for, and there's just no other coach I wanted to play for at the end.
That's actually amazing because it's kind of funny, because obviously we love Coach, right? And Coach is a great coach. But usually when we hear defensive players like Jermaine Pratt, when he first said that, why did he sign back with the Bengals? He said because of Lou's defense, and he wanted to play with Lou. And they asked him, like, hey, if Lou wasn't here and he did go ahead and leave and go somewhere else to become a head coach, would you still want to play for Lou? Would you still want to play here? And his response is pretty much like, you know what? Thankfully it didn't happen, right? And it's kind of funny. I mean, shout out to Coach Taylor and, shout out to Logan Wilson here for really, putting Coach Taylor in the spotlight of he is a great coach, which we already know is a great coach. But it's funny how, and again, he obviously wants to play with Lou too, but it just shows how much more how much it's at the same respect that Coach Taylor has given, this spotlight on himself to these players and how much he has changed these players. That Lou is obviously changed them too, but Coach is also at that level. I know some people don't love Coach. Who Dey Nation loves him, but outside of Who Dey Nation, a lot of people are like, Coach Taylor, he really is that guy.